Most of you all are familiar with the unfortunate massacre that took place in New Zealand, where dozens of Muslims were senselessly killed by another white right-wing extremist. And the unfortunate truth of the matter is, I still feel like there are not enough people on the right who are willing to acknowledge this. But that's not actually what we're here to discuss today. This is hot off the presses, well, hot off the Twitter presses. Chelsea Clinton was confronted by a student from New York who felt some type of way about her. She came at Chelsea saying that she should feel like she is part of the blame for the massacre that took place. Take a look at this video.
After all that you have done and all this homophobia that you have sowed.
I'm so sorry. Well, certainly it was never my intention. I do believe words matter. I believe we have to show
They do matter. And this right here is the result of a massacre stoked by people like you and the words that you have put out into the world. And I want you to know that, and I want you to feel that deep inside. 49 people died because of the rhetoric that you put out there. I don't think.
I'm sorry you feel that way mean? What does that mean?
This is a difficult topic to discuss because there are going to be some people who are going to want to say it's Chelsea's fault. She should take it. She's taking it on the chin. And I don't necessarily disagree with them. There are going to be people that say that this student's anger is misdirected and misguided. And I don't necessarily disagree with them to a degree. Now, what I hope to do is give some context to what this young lady is referring to and hopefully give you all a glimpse into why Chelsea should have acknowledged what the student was saying, because whether or not she likes it, whether or not the student should have been angry, or whether or not the student should have approached her in that environment is irrelevant, because some of the things she's saying, they do hold weight. And it's unfortunate, but they do. So, ironically enough, or maybe it's a coincidence, who knows? A couple of weeks, actually at this point, it's about a month and a half or so back, Ilhan Omar was engaged in quote-unquote Twitter beef over her comments about AIPAC, right? Over her comments about politicians' loyalty to money or favors paid out by AIPAC. And how that usually leads to loyalty in other ways to Israel. At the very least, it leads to an inability or an unwillingness to critique Israel when it's necessary. And so because of Ilhan Omar's comments about that, people jumped up and down her throat claiming she's an anti-Semite in a way that we have only seen done, by the way, to Muslims in Congress, and in a very unique way that we've only ever seen done, like to this degree, we've only seen it done to Ilhan Omar. So Chelsea decided to chime in with her comments on Twitter. And once again, I'm not sure if you all remember these comments. Here we go. So Chelsea decided to chime in on Twitter and said, signed off as an American, we cannot allow our politicians to traffic in anti-Semitism. What? Why? I don't get it. Why are you signing off as an American? Why was that even necessary? Well, some rightfully point out, myself included, that was what is called a dog whistle in politics. Not just in politics, in society in general, but in politics is used often. Whenever there is an attempt to demonize someone where you don't have a leg up policy-wise, you can't critique them based off of something they've done in the past, especially Ilhan Omar for being fairly new. When you have absolutely nothing to gain, then we see And once again, this isn't an indictment of white people. This isn't a generalization of white people, but white politicians specifically who have goals that are antithetical to the goals of a minority in politics as well. They will use white backlash to their advantage. White backlash is an academic term or a phrase that is used to describe the unfortunate fear or the cognitive dissonance that some people who participate, white people who participate in politics, experience, and will then use to fuel anger against a minority candidate, to vote them out of office, to gavel them down, if you will, gavel their speech down via, well, nowadays it's on Twitter, right? You get attacked on Twitter for speaking out of turn. So candidates have used that. Chelsea Clinton did use that. There was no need for her to say signed off as an American, because what she was saying was, in reality, this is what a dog whistle sounds like. It's like when you the reason they call it dog whistle, in case you don't know, you blow a dog whistle, it's silent, but it still reaches the ears that it needs to reach. It doesn't say you're a Somali Muslim refugee hijabi woman critiquing Israel. But it doesn't say that to Elon, but it does say that to white people. That's what she's trying to do, right? So she blows a dog whistle. The dog whistle, Elon is not supposed to hear it. You can't really say she's racist. You can't say she's Islamophobic, like Chelsea. You can't say it, but it reaches the right ears saying sign off as an American, aka someone who is not a Muslim, someone who is not a refugee, someone who is not Somali, someone who is not critiquing Israel with quote unquote anti-Semitic comments that weren't, as a demographic that fits all of the above. So from that perspective, this young woman confronting Chelsea Clinton is absolutely 100% correct. Why? Because it isn't like she just stopped at Chelsea Clinton and said that Chelsea Clinton was the only one to blame for incidents such as these. She said, you and people like you, which Chelsea Clinton has to once again take that on the chin. Why? Because people like her do participate in it. People like her did participate in it when it comes to this Ilhan Omar situation. Yeah, she critiqued the Republicans when they were basically being outright Islamophobic. But that's easy. Slow as hanging fruit. However, when her Democratic friends were joining Chelsea in sounding off the dog whistles, she said nothing. She's an adult. She knows how to talk. She knows right from wrong. And she said nothing, which sparked a bunch of racist, oh my God, the comments that you see regarding Elon after that incident have been nothing short of disgusting. It's hard to read them sometimes, but that started because of the Democrats. It started because of the Democrats. They attacked Trump and attacked the Republicans over the comments they've made about Elon, but it sparked off because of the Democrats. Once again, they found a way into the door because you opened it. You and people like you. But this isn't even just regarding recent comments from her and people like her. Her mother, if people remember, allowed a picture to be put out about Obama from her campaign aides. So her campaign, and so her, and of course she approved of it, where basically it insinuated that Barack Obama would sympathize with Somali Muslims, ironically enough. Why is that a big deal? Well, because if you all recall, there was that idea that Obama wasn't really from here and that he was actually a Muslim, and it's still popular today in super extremist right-wing circles. Like, it's still popular smear of Obama. And Obama has a lot of legitimate reasons to be smeared, or not be smeared, to be critiqued. But that smear was an illegitimate one. But it was one that was perpetuated and used by Hillary Clinton, her mother. Chelsea Clinton did not critique her campaign or critique her mother or come out publicly and condemn what was put out. So it is not just the action of using dog whistles, but being complicit in their use is just as bad. This incident is not holistically Chelsea's fault. And I don't think that this young woman is trying to say that. But what she is trying to say, and once again, feel free to comment if you agree or disagree with me. This isn't like I have a 100% right answer or wrong answer. This is just telling you how I feel about this. What she is trying to say is that Chelsea, being someone who considers herself part of the left, being well-educated, living in New York, being in politics, like, you know better. You know what the quote-unquote Southern strategy is, aka dog whistles and things like that, white backlash. She knows what all of this is. And instead of condemning it holistically, you do something far worse. You take advantage of it, knowing that it exists for your own political agendas. That's horrific. And I'm saying it's horrific because we know this will not be the last anti-Muslim attack. Just like we knew it wouldn't be the last anti-Black attack. And once again, Chelsea and people like her are going to have to bear part of the responsibility for that because of the dog whistles. Like when I remember when was it Dylan Roof attacked the church in Charleston. And there were still some people who were saying, we don't know if it was based out of racism. We don't know if it was a right-wing extremist. We don't know. We just don't know. You can't, because if you're going to use dog whistles, you can't then acknowledge the racist animosity and the attacks that come from those dog whistles. But then you have to acknowledge that the things that you're saying are in fact racist, regardless of if you want to use an N-word or some Islamophobic trope or anything like that. Racism is different now. You can't be explicit because you might lose your job. Discrimination and prejudice looks different now. And once again, because Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, and other Democrats like Chelsea, and once again, Chelsea herself, for refusing, knowing better, but refusing to acknowledge the racism and the dog whistles that people like her mother and her have used, you are part of the problem. At least in the eyes and the minds of people like this young woman who confronted her. So I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not 100% agreeing or 100% disagreeing with her, but I just had to give my thoughts on it because I think that this is something that's important to talk about, and it's good to have a dialogue about it, because maybe Chelsea perhaps didn't realize how stupid she sounded when she made that tweet about Ilhan Omar. Maybe she didn't realize it. But I hope that this interaction helped her to see the error of her ways. Thank you for watching that segment of Mi Casa es Su Casa. Help us reach our goal of 500 patrons. You can do so by donating as little as $1 by clicking on the Patreon link in the description below. Don't forget, join us on Roku and JustNForm. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. And remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.